Good morning, everyone. Today, myself, Ansuman Chakrabarti, I am here to provide you with a training under the practical paper, that is the paper on cartography or the paper on the digital mapping and landform profiling, that is JCST P004. So, I will be taking up 8 to 9 practical consecutive classes in this respective paper from today onwards, just to get you well acquainted with the process of the digital mapping or with the process of the software, and to make you learn with the software and the human interaction or that particular interface. So, in the first practical class I have already taken, in which I have shown you how to operate or how to open up with the ArcGIS software, and I have also provided you with some kind of basic knowledge or basic insights regarding the different tools and functions of the particular software. While in the second class, my colleague Sheikh Habibul Rahman has taught you how to georeference of the maps. So today, what I will teach you is how to use that georeference map to create up your geodatabase, or to create up your spatial database. So today I will just show you how to digitize point, line and polygon features basically in the software, and within a very short span of time my camera people or cameraman will just show you over the screen how the software is working and what are the things that I am taking the note of. I would like to express my sincere courtesy to Sri Akash Malik and Pradeep, who are working with me in this camera and recording of these whole sessions and make these sessions available to all of you. So without wasting much time, let's start with the
So,
practical
as I
session.
told you before, I will click up on this plus button and then I will add up this particular imagery. So you can see that it is coming here when I'm trying to add that unknown spatial reference. What does it mean? It means that this imagery is not containing any kind of the georeferencing. And here you see this is the imagery that I have taken. This is of the Bardhaman district of West Bengal, and not only it encompasses Bardhaman, it encompasses certain parts of you can see this Jharkhand district, as well as the Birbhum district. Here you can see the Dubrajpur. It is the location. I'm just making it much more specified. Again, in the upper parts, if we just pan the image, we can see the Shiuri and adjoining region, and this is the Murshidabad, that is the Kandi. You can see over here, this is the place of Murshidabad. So it is encompassing Bardhaman district, Birbhum district, as well as this is the Bolpur, you see. So if this is the Bolpur, then what will happen is that this is the railway line. So our Prantik will be somewhere like here, over here, in this location. This will be the location of your college, because here is the Adityapur. Again, after that we are having the Sitapur, Birha. These are all villages. Sarbanandapur. So our Prantik will be somewhere located over here, basically. So anyway, leave up these things. So in the very first, before to start off with the georeferencing, I would like to brush you off once again that you can see over here. This is the logo that testifies the Army Corps and Engineering Service, or the US Army Map Service. Basically, this particular map has been downloaded from the website of University of Texas. It is a million sheet, 1:250 million. You can see the scale, and from this respective index, you just see it is given over here, legend by the term. And similarly, you can also see this particular location that is also being specified. The year of survey, scale, and other things are being given over here. Okay, so and this is the number, reference number of this particular sheet. Anyway, let's start off with the georeferencing. To start off with the georeferencing, what I would like to just let you know is that you will have to first of all right click on this particular menu bar, and you will have to activate this georeferencing tool. I have already activated it. Now from this georeferencing tool, what we will have to do is that first of all we will have to add up tick points. I think your Habibul sir has already shown you. So what is tick point? Tick points are basically the ground control points or the GCP points. So this is the add control point button. I am just adding up the first point you just see, and I have zoomed up the imagery to some extent just to make the point location precise. Now I will input up the X and Y, that is the latitude and longitude value. Now X means basically the longitude. So here the longitude will be 87.00, while the latitude will be 24.00. So this is the first point I have taken. Now I will have basically, for the sake of georeferencing, we need at least 4 points, 4 ground control points at a minimum. We can take more also if we just require, or if we just feel like taking, but here I will take 4 points for the sake of time, or to just save the time. So here the you can see the longitude is 88.30 and 24.00 latitude. So I will take up this point now. As you can see, I am trying to make it precise by placing over here the location, and now I will input the X and Y. In the X I will input 88.5. Now why I am putting this 88.5? Basically I am doing this thing in degree decimal, hence I am putting it as 88.5, while in the Y I am putting 24.00. So this may happen, sometimes it happens when we put up 2 or 3 points, the image may move away from the screen, but don't worry, just right click on this particular image layer and go to zoom to layer. This zoom to layer will bring back with your image. So after that, let's move over here. Similarly, here you can see it is 88.30 and 23.00. So I will take up the add control point option, put up the point over here, and you see I am inputting the data. Now what I will input, it has almost taken an approximate one. I will let it remain. You can see 88.50 it has already taken, and here it will be 23.00. A slight deviation is there, so I am changing it. So after this third point, I will just now go for the next point. This is the last point that I will have to take the reference of. Now I am zooming it up so that there may not be any kind of problems, or there should not be any kind of locational mismatch. I am taking the tick point and inputting the value over here. So you see it is 87.00 and 23.00. So I have taken the 4 ticks, you see. Now what I will have to do is that in the very first I will have to go to the view link table option within these georeferencing tools. I will just try to have a look at, and these are the values. You can see the transformation that I have used is first order polynomial transformation, and I have clicked on auto adjusting, and you see that these are the coordinates that I have taken or I have put, and these are the residuals. Now residuals means this will show if this value is greater than 1, it means I have errors in taking up these GCPs. But now as the value is less than 1, it is 0.00, it is almost accurate. So after that I will have to go over here to the georeferencing and go to the rectify option. Now in this context I would like to mention, if I have done update georeferencing, then this on-screen JPEG image will have got referenced, but this would have been a temporary matter. But I want to make this georeferencing permanent, hence I will go to the rectify option. Now in the rectify option you can see that this is the size of the pixel, each and every pixel, and this is the DN number or something, what we can say. The resampling type, what we are using is nearest neighbor, and this is the drive location where the data will be stored. And now I will just change up the name, and before that I will change up the format. I am making it imagine image.img file. I am making it. Now I will just change up the name. I will write georef Bardhawan, and compression type I am not using, and I am just simply saving up the data, clicking on save, and you see that as I have clicked on save, the algorithm has started working. It is showing the status of the this particular software process. Now this respective aspect has got complete. I will try to add up once again. This is the georef Bardhaman. Now remove the first image. You see over here the coordinates are coming 87.1, 22.889 or something like that. It is coming. Now what I will have to do is that I will have to go to the arc toolbox. Why? Because I too need to define the projection and data. So I will go to the arc toolbox, and from the arc toolbox I will go to the data management tools. Now from the data and management tools you can see there are lots of options, but simply I will just go to the projections, and from the projections I will go to define projection. So from the define projection I will just input up this particular image, and I will have to put the coordinate system. Now as I am taking the note of this degree decimals, I will just select the geographic coordinate system. Now from the geographic coordinate system I will go to world, and I will just select WGS 1984, and you can see here the values are coming, that this is the angular unit, prime meridian is the meridian of Greenwich, the datum is WGS 1984, the spheroid that we are using is WGS 1984, the semi-major axis value, semi-minor axis value, and the inverse flattening, everything is being clearly represented. Now I will have to click on OK here, and this algorithm is running, because we will come to know after that about that it is running, because after some time we will see that projection defined or something, some kind of tick box will appear over here in this segment. You just see, as I told you, defined projection has been performed. and it is this right means it has been done. So I will once again just simply remove it and we'll try to add it, and you see now it is properly georeferenced and ready for use for us. Now what I will do is I will now create a shapefile. Today let's create shapefile. In the next class I will show you how to create up with this geodatabase. For that, to create up the shapefile, as I have shown you earlier also, let's go to the ARC catalog, and in the ARC catalog I will first select the respective drive. That is, I have kept my data in topo sheet, so I will just go up to this particular drive and select the image where it is kept. But what I will do is that after going to drive, first of all let's create a folder, and I will name up this folder as Bardhaman Practical. You see, I have used underscore. I have not used this particular space. Why? Because during the topological correction when we will done later on, as well as the other things, if we add up space, that will be a problem. Now what we will do is that we will create up our shapefile over here, and I am also removing the imagery in this Bardhaman Practical, and I will just add up. So imagery is added. Now shapefiles are to be created. What I will do, I will just show you how to create point, line and polygon. So I will go to new, I will go to the shapefile option, and in the shapefile, first let's try to create a villages. Now as we know that villages are basic, every village has got a particular geographical coordinate. We will just take point features, and in the coordinate system what we will do is that we will just go to the geographic coordinate system, and similarly as we have taken in the case of the image also, we will select WGS 1984 and click on OK. So you see this point shapefile is being created. Now after that what I will do, I will try to create up a shapefile of road, that is line. Now it is I am just only showing you one, but based upon that your task will be to digitize this entire topo sheet. So I will just show you some parts or some portions. Defining the projection and coordinate system. You see road has also come, and again what I will do is that, say I will digitize some or want to show up some towns or major areas, that I will do in polygon. Similarly I will define up the coordinate system. So you see I have created 3 shapefiles. In this way, my dear students of JCST, please note the shapefiles that you will have to create. First of all, you will have to show up these forests. These green patches are basically the forest areas, and this data you can easily download from this from the University of Texas website, or if you need the data I can also send it to you. Now these are basically the micro drainages or the small drainages. This will have to represent in this. But you will have to show these ponds. These are ponds, you see. These blue regular shapes. This means the man-made ponds, artificial ponds or reservoirs. After that, these are non-perennial rivers. These black lines. So this you will have to also digitize in polyline. After that you will have to digitize up the entire roads or prepare up a road network map. So these are the major things, and you can see from here a major river is flowing. This you will have to also show. Okay, and finally you will have to draw this boundary line, that is the interstate boundary. This part is Bihar, that is Jharkhand, and this part is West Bengal. Similar, so you will have to digitize up and follow up these inter-district boundaries and interstate boundaries and show it up. And finally these railway lines, you see Eastern Railway line, it is showing this railway line, you will have to digitize in line. Now in polygons, major towns, forests. After that, the other important features like this sandbars, you can see Damodar river. The sandbars along the Damodar, that you will have to digitize in polygon. Okay, and while digitizing, be precise. Please maintain the proper shape. So this is the Raniganj town. So anyway, after the preparation in this way, please digitize up or the respective point, line and polygon features as I am telling you, so that the map looks nice whenever we will be preparing up the map layout. Let's start off with the digitization. I will have to go to create features, and before that I will have to go to editor, and I will have to go to start editing. So you see I am starting the editing session in the GIS software. Now this create feature, under the create features you can see these three types has already come. That is a line feature, polygon feature and point feature. Now I will start off with digitization. And before starting off with the digitization, I will just do one thing. I will just check whether the snapping is on. You just see the snapping is on over here. So this is the thing we should have to keep in mind. Let's start with the point features. This is Bandardiha village. So one thing I will have to do, to add up some fields, like, because I will have to also note the name. So in the add field I will write name of the village. Yeah, make it small, village underscore name. Now its type will be text, and 50 will be sufficient length. So you see this field is being created, and another field I am creating, that is state name, in which state it is present. I am selecting the text. So two fields are created. I will again restart off with the starting editing. So the first point that is created is Bandardiha. You see this one. I will put up the name. So this is automatically being saved, and after putting up the name, click on save edits. This is Malinaj. So this is the point of Manil Hut. Again, this is Jalna. This is a tribal village again. Kuldangal. I am putting the name also. Now, as all these villages are in West Bengal, as I know from earlier, I have kept it to do it later, for to do it later option. Now I am filling up those also. And simply I will have to click on edits. So this digitization of the village is complete for this practical session. Point. How I will check that whether it has digitized, you can see that this is the unselect button, as I told you. These villages are being created. Now if I use up this identify option, what will happen? You just see what the data I have input, that the name of the village as well as the state name is representing, as well as its location in decimal degrees in terms of the latitude and longitude. It is showing. Now I will digitize some major polyline features. Let's digitize this road. This is a road that is going. What I will do, I will just simply create, go to create features and start off with a digitization. But in this case, what I would like to suggest you is keep the scale fixed in 50,000. You just see I am specifying the scale over here. So I will start up with a digitization as a sample. My snapping is already on. I am following this line, you see, and digitizing by adding on vertices. This is the pan tool. We will use it. You see I am digitizing. In the fixed scale. So this is a sample road I have digitized. Later on we will learn if we have digitized and if there has been some errors, how to fix up those errors. Now similarly what I will do is that I will add up tables over here, as I have done in case of. What I am doing is opening up the attribute table and go to add field option. Only one I am showing for example. So this is the road I have created. I will just select it over here. I am writing the road name as say other road, because if it is a national highway, then we will write national highway. If it is a state highway, we will write state highway. If it is the district road, we will write district road. But this is a small road. It may be a cart track or maybe a village road. So I am using this name as other road. Click on save edits. This has been saved. Now if I want to see it, how I will see? So this is the color I am using. So just remove this imagery. You see my road has been digitized. Now if you want to find out what is the length, what you can do is that you can use this scale option and move along this line. So that will provide you also the length of this particular road. And how to create up this length, another thing, you just see it is 14.973 meters. It is showing over here. That you will have to use up your scale. That is 1 centimeter is to how many kilometer or how many meter whatever on ground. And that will provide you with the exact length of the road on ground. So this is the map length or map distance. Now let's show digitization of a polygon. I will digitize, let's digitize the Bolpur. Okay, this is the Bolpur, because Bolpur is the town where the institute is located. And my dear students, one thing you will do, I think you will not be able to understand enough or everything from this live session. So please follow the videos that will be uploaded in the institute channel, that is the YouTube channel, where you would be able to see it properly. I think all of you know the name of the channel very well. It is iter.pct. Now anyway, I am here started off with the digitization of the town. You just see I am taking it in a form of a polygon. Why? Because all the important features needs the area, and until and unless you will be digitizing something in a polygon, you would not be able to get up the area. Just see, I am precisely following the shape so that not a small part is being left over. You see, it has been digitized. Now what I will do, I will go to save edits and I will again go to stop editing. I will just go to this respective shapefile, open the attribute table. The first thing that I would like to do is add field. In the field I will write name. It is obviously will be text 50. Next what I will do is that area. This area I will calculate in float because it comes in degree decimals. So precision I am giving 30. My 30 places after decimal. I have kept up the scale of my digitization, that is 50,000. Say. Now what I will do is, first of all let's try to calculate the area. You will see that calculation of area in GIS is very simple. Just simply click over here, go to calculate geometry and You just see the value has come. Now I will write the name over here. It will be Bolpur. So this is just an example I am giving, but one thing I would like to tell you, this particular value will not be accurate because I am doing it in degree decimal. So for the proper value, you will have to convert your data set or convert your data in UTM, WGS, UTM projection as well as the data also. So in this class we have basically learned. Now I will try to show what I have shown you. You just see I have taken three sorts of things. One is the point feature, other one is the line, third one is the polygon. Everything you see in the same screen. Now your duty is to take up with this kind of digitization for the entire topo sheet. If you do not have this respective topo sheet with you, please tell me or let me know. I will share up this topo sheet in your respective email ID. And all of you are having software with you that I have seen in your laptop. So in this period of lockdown, instead of moving out and instead of getting affected by instead of getting affected by the fear of having corona, I think it is better to remain yourself or keep yourself busy with this kind of digitizations, right? So please digitize up this particular topo sheet in terms of the points, line and polygon features. What you will have to digitize in the point, show me the major settlements, that is the villages, and after that in polygon, digitize up the major towns and the reservoirs, that is the artificial reservoirs, and in line digitize the road, the railway line as well as the drainage channels that you will have to digitize. Now after the digitization, how you will have to write up this particular practical in your notebook. The aim of this study will be digitization of point, line and polygon features using ArcGIS software. In the next, you will have to write software used, ArcGIS, study area, parts of Bardhaman, Birbhum districts in West Bengal and parts of Jharkhand. That you will have to write in study area. Now what you will have to write in the next, you will have to write methodology of the study, how you have digitized. That is the steps that I have told you. After this you will have to do of this, after that you will have to do that, like this. And finally in the results you will have to write how many number of polygons you have digitized or points you have digitized and lines you have digitized and what you have learned from this particular practical session. And the last one will be your own inference, that is what you have what you think about this particular practical session or what you think about this particular institute or about this particular instructor, that you will have to add up in this particular conclusion session. Now in this case I would like to mention that I am telling you to write about the instruction. That does not necessarily mean you will have to praise me always. If I have any kind of problems also, or you people are having any kind of problems in form of my teaching, you cannot understand or something, then please try to be specific, so that will be a positive criticism to me and I would be able to rectify if there has been any kind of errors. Particular practical session is complete. This particular class is complete. Now your task is I will like to have the particular data from each student regarding this digitization on next Thursday. 1 week time I am giving for this particular practical class. This is the assignment that I am giving you. Please submit it to me. And what I would like to say is, tomorrow also I will have a practical class, and most probably I will teach you how to fill up the attribute data or create up something. Please check up the routine also. I will also check. And please stay safe, stay at home, feel free. And finally one thing, Today and tomorrow, in as per the English calendar, today is the birthday of Kavi Guru Rabindranath Tagore, and in terms of the Bengali calendar, tomorrow is the birthday, that is 25 Vaishakh. So as our institute is in Shantiniketan, stationed in Shantiniketan, but currently that is closed owing to this particular COVID-19. So what we have done is that we have tried to observe, or we will try to observe the birthday of Rabindranath Tagore tomorrow in our camp office at WAN, that is the Eastern Arunachal Pradesh, where all my PCT colleagues, as well as if some of the students who are staying nearby this particular the WAN camp, can come up if you can adhere to the particular venue using proper sanitized measures, that is by washing your hands when you will be reaching over here, using sanitizer, wear a proper mask and other things. We will try to observe with some kind of small, one to Rabindra Sangeets, one to speeches or something, and by offering our respect to the great legendary poet and the Nobel laureate. So that's it. With this, I would like to conclude my session today. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.